Yo, what's up, friends? Welcome back to the local podcast. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Greensburg Video. That's my video and photography company located right here on Main Street in Greensburg. If you and your company are up for some fresh ideas and some engaging content, look no further than Greensburg Video. You can check out my work at gbgvideo.net or greensburgvideo.com. My portfolio is growing daily, so you can check that out. Shoot me a message, and we'll figure out a strategy for you. Speaking of advertising, you can do that for your business right here on the local podcast. If you're interested in that, hit me up at thelocal724.com. Today on the podcast, we have the boys from the Green Beacon Gallery. I hope you enjoy this one. Let's do it. Welcome to the Local 724 podcast in 3, 2, 1. All right, cool.
Steven, tell them I'm from Mars.
Okay. Keep that one down low.
The origin stories.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Local Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Hauser. Today we have Phil, Steve, and Kevin from the Green Beacon Gallery. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's up with you guys? How's business?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
We don't really have anything to compare it to be good or bad.
Right.
Really yet. There's just not enough data. We're just figuring it all out as we go.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty awesome, man. What got you guys hooked up like with the idea to put a gallery and like a music space down here in Greensburg? It's something that we definitely need in the town.
Before. Now there is.
Yeah.
It's a long story. I mean, I started booking shows sort of accidentally when I was 17.
Yeah.
The first one, I just emailed my favorite band's booking agent who was on their final tour and said, hey, play this crappy venue in my town. And a couple months later, their drummer responded to that email with their contract and rider. And my dad helped me pull it all off. But that was like where it all started. I kept booking shows after that for touring and local bands. And many basement shows and VFW shows and pool shows and weird shows later. Here we are.
Yeah.
Up in a keg.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really awesome. I think that like what you guys are doing is great. I mean, I've been down there for a few of your events. I always have a good time whenever I'm down there. So obviously, you know, it's just something that the Greensburg needed. We're getting to the point where like, you know, business is starting to really rise up from the ashes of like what Greensburg was. And it's just like, you know, we're getting all these businesses, which are cool. I love small businesses, but the idea of like the galleries, the venues, the art, that all has to come in as well. You know what I mean? It's very important for the art to be here, just for inspiration, mainly.
Yeah.
Is what I would think.
It's there's a really strong creative presence that has always been here regardless of the state of business. And I think we're finally in this town kind of figuring out ways to keep those all interests aligned and keeping the town like colorful and not boring.
Definitely. So are you guys all artists or musicians, both?
More musically inclined than artistically, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a visual artist, art school dropout.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very
I
nice.
started painting after we started doing all this with our leftover paint night supplies. And I just wanted to start filling space high up on our gallery wall that wasn't, you know, ideal for actual artists wanting to have people see their stuff. So just out of necessity, started dabbling with it and kind of doing it all. Same way the Beacon is kind of doing everything as well. Just music, art,
That's fun.
events.
That's awesome, man. Did you find that you really enjoyed painting? Do you like it?
I really like it. It's something completely different than sonic creation.
Yeah.
I just can't find the time to do it, really.
Right.
I think I've done 5 actual paintings now, and even that's a miracle. The one in the last 6 months is it. Like, it's tough to find the time.
Yeah. I mean, time's always, you know, something we're all up against, but it's pretty neat that, you know, you just started doing it lately, and it was something that you found out that you liked.
Yeah. I mean, I use a projector to kind of outline everything first, so like I'm not just free hand making anything necessarily, but
He's good at it too.
Yeah.
Natural.
just tracing, figure out.
That's
like
awesome.
I'll design what the tracing is. So I guess there's a little bit of design in there, but
Right.
you know,
It's just the enlargement.
yeah, new ventures.
Yeah. Kevin, what kind of stuff do you do visual art wise?
Mixed media, not much digital. I'm sort of analog when it comes to art. Just been doing a lot of illustrations, a lot of ink, a lot of pencil work. I've lost a lot of sleep over the past 3 days finding time to like crank out drawings. It's like I've rekindled a passion for it, and I'm just like going really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yep. Got some new pieces, and yeah.
What do you mainly create for? Are you doing like things for the gallery, or are you doing like things that have been commissioned?
Now I'm going to be working more towards doing drawings, doing illustrations for the Beacon, and for events and things like that. But just a lot of what I've been doing is just personal stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, illustration
He
that I
made
like.
the album art for my band's one of my band's newest albums, which came out in 2015.
Dude, that's awesome.
Weird
Man.
that that's the new one, but it was a pretty awesome portrait of me and the other dude in the band.
Sweet.
Standout piece of that album.
Oh yeah. It's always nice to have somebody that can do shit for you.
Hell yeah.
Like, in your space. Steve, you said you were more into music.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
What do you like? Do you play in different bands or?
I don't know. I mean, you make a band at this age and you do what you can for a year or two. And it's
Right,
like,
yeah.
That's kind of it anymore. But I've been playing with some people for a while now. We played like a pool party a night or two ago. And it was pretty awesome. But,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of shows happening.
Right, yeah.
The world's still stepping back into normality, I
I
guess.
feel like we're about to get there.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
They
Like,
did that like Punk in the Park out in Phoenix, and it was just like
Yeah.
a huge punk show that was packed with people, just like it was in '94.
that's awesome. I didn't
Went and did it.
hear anything about it.
Yeah,
Who all played?
I know Pennywise played.
No shit.
And,
That's awesome.
Out played a pretty good set, and there was a few others in there, but
That's fucking awesome.
They made it happen. They just did it.
Gonna have to YouTube that when I get back to the office.
Yeah. Little known news story,
Hell yeah. Right on. So let's jump into COVID real quick. We just kind of talked about that real quick. What? So you guys you start your business. COVID hits. What was going through your head at that point?
Well, I think we were under the impression that it was going to blow over once the fall and the election and everything all hit. But when that didn't happen, I mean, we kind of tried limping along with like paint nights and small events and stuff, but attendance wasn't really there, so we just kind of pulled back on those. I don't really remember what we did. That was really the last time any of us had free time. Once we closed up events for a while. That was when I was painting the most, actually.
Yeah.
But
did you guys lean more into the musical shows and things like that? Like anything you guys could do to have bands, or you guys were doing stuff outside, right?
we did a couple outdoor shows in the fall, and then once it got too cold, we did a few live stream shows, which that was a discovering process. Yeah, bumps along the way for sure.
Oh yeah.
Dude, everyone thinks streaming's so easy until you do it.
Oh, I know.
It's
pretty nuts.
because everyone's so used to FaceTime and shit like that. You just pull this computer out of your pocket and you're like, boom. That's hey, what's up? How are you?
It's
Blah,
the
blah,
future.
blah.
Everybody
right?
can do this with many cameras, and
Dude.
it sounds great. It looks
Yeah.
great. There's no problems at all.
Yeah, it just syncs right up every time. And
Yep.
it's like, man, I did all this work, and now it's going to look awesome. And it's like, oh no, it's gone. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just do it again, I guess. It wasn't that hard.
Dude, my favorite is just you're sitting there, you're all ready to go. You hit the button and then everything just shifts. You got your bandwidth tanks and each shit, and then your mouth isn't speaking the words that it's saying, and you're like, is anybody hearing me? And you don't get any feedback for about 4 minutes, and then finally someone goes, hi. And it's like, okay, cool.
Thanks, man.
It's great. I used to do some streaming on YouTube and stuff, and it was just it was nerve-wracking as hell because I was doing it by myself. It wasn't there was anybody watching me except for some people on the internet, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it just freaked me the fuck out that there was no response to anything I was saying. So I would just get drunk as I was going and then get more vocal as the time went on. I was just like, oh yeah, cameras are fucking great. This is how you work one. And it's just that's all I could do was, sit there and just kind of wait for 5 minutes for someone to ask a question. And then I'd, go and answer that in depth and hopefully catch the next question 5 minutes later.
getting started is never pretty. It seems.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I mean, you really have to put together a television station studio
It really is.
to pull off a really good looking and sounding stream.
Yeah.
And especially when Corona hit, everybody started streaming. So all of the regular gear
All the
went
equipment
up
was
in
gone.
price by,
We went to Best Buy one day. It was the funniest thing. There was like 4 rows of just nothing there.
Yeah.
Not a thing anywhere near like the
Cam
microphones
links and
the
cameras.
and all
Yeah.
that shit extra.
Oh, the cam links.
And everything is just gone.
No Yeti mics. They're
Yeah.
That was
gone.
hilarious.
Yeah.
We went in there, we asked them, they're like, ha ha ha. They
Yeah,
laughed at us.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, fuck you, goodbye.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. I mean, I got one of the cam links as well, and I got mine used on Amazon. I think it was like $300.
Yeah.
Dude,
2 days ago, it was like 140. You're like,
yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, those things were like $99. And I remember like seeing them and I was like, that's cool. All before COVID, I was just like, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just keep using my webcam. And then when that hit and I wanted to I had the time to mess with the camera then,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I should have bought that thing.
Webcams anywhere.
Yeah.
That went on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Everybody, I mean, like everyone was hitting me up and just saying like, I had like yoga instructors hitting me up. I had churches hitting me up and they were just like, how do we do this? And I'm sitting there remembering how hard it was for me to just fucking stream to YouTube. And I'm like, I don't even know.
That's a legit question.
It's just like, I don't know what kind of internet you're running. I don't know what kind I was like, I just pointed people straight to Facebook. I was like, look, if you can just like stream on Facebook or like use FaceTime,
Yeah.
just do that.
Yeah.
Like that would probably be the easiest thing. Other than that, I mean, exactly what you said, you're going to go to Best Buy and get laughed at.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
What, you don't want to teach everybody OBS?
Right. Yeah. OBS. That's a whole nother thing. Like everyone thinks that that's so easy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what the hell are all these like weird inputs and like everything that's going on? And then dealing with the delay on that. On one screen, you're good. On the other
Yeah.
screen, what's going out is not matching. Like there's no sync. So like if you watch that,
Certain fucking settings, there's so many frames of lag,
Yeah.
and you got to program it, and then you have all these awesome fucking settings, and everything works, and then you like go back to do it another day, and
And,
like,
yeah.
remember all that work I did? Like, why did
Yeah.
you do that? Because now I have to do it again.
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah. So none of that
That
stuff's
program,
easy.
it works when it works, but sometimes it'll get you.
For sure. There's been ones that have come out. I think like Zoom really stepped up. As a company, Zoom like stepped the fuck up and like gave everybody free Zoom for like a long time. I think they're still doing free Zoom. They took away the hour thing, I'm pretty sure, and now everyone can just Zoom for as long as they want.
Oh, that's not.
Unless there's like multiple people. I think it has, if it's over 3 or 4 people, then you have to get like a certain tiered package. But dude, they were, it was really awesome. And I love the technology of it, like switching cameras. Some people don't like to watch themselves, but if you're like, if I had cameras in here that would do that, then I wouldn't have to edit the videos.
Right.
And that would be amazing. Cause it would be like, if Phil started talking, that camera would
Yep.
fucking turn on.
Yep.
And that would be perfect. But turns out that's a lot of money to find that the programs that all have to hook up together in order to do that. And
People with the buttons,
wild.
like the stream decks, it's like
Yeah.
one button and it shifts to your other scene.
Yeah, we still need one of
You have
those.
like 4 buttons is all
Yeah.
you need. You sit there and just,
yeah, and I could sit here and do that, but I feel like I would like really lack on conversation because I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
1 is him, 2 is him. Like,
Yeah.
it would be, I'd be worrying about that too much. But I don't know. It just I liked what you guys were doing. I mean, it's awesome that you guys leaned into the musical aspect of it. I think that was probably a really good thing because there's a lot of musicians around here that were really struggling to do anything. I mean, like that's their whole life, you know, like big
sure.
dudes like Derek Woods and all those Adam Fitz. I mean, like all those dudes that are around here that like really enjoy doing that.
Luke Welts.
Yeah, Luke Wells. Like I just had him on last week. That guy's or 2 weeks ago. That guy's a fucking trip, man.
Yeah,
he's
he sure
awesome.
is.
Super funny guy. But like it was rough to see all those guys just I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Writing music, just, experimenting with other stuff. And it was like, man, this is like, I really want to hear like just local music. I just wanted to like go to a show. And I think like the first one that I came to at the Beacon was Adam Fitz was there. Yeah. And he texted me and was just like, hey man, I'm down here playing. And I was like, yeah. So I like popped down, checked it out, and it was fucking great.
It might have been the grand opening. I can't remember.
Maybe.
Back in the Easy Up days.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very happy to get back to just doing like live shows that people come to.
Yeah.
It's cutting out the whole stream side of things. Just like so freeing in my head.
Hell yeah, dude.
We
just
had
way less to worry
You don't
about.
need 14 capture cards today?
Well, the last stream that we just had worked really well. I mean,
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
we now that we have it down,
Yeah.
like everything's gone back to normal. You know what I mean?
Well, the one before that, we did
Just have shows
outside in the tent. So on top of getting everything working, we also had to set it up outside and make sure the weather wasn't going to screw us. And it's a bigger space, so our cables weren't getting as far and for as good a look as we needed. And I don't know, it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
With everything we're doing, and
Everything is.
that's the beautiful thing, is just turn errors into progress.
Yeah. COVID sucked, but really I think it was a bit of a blessing that it's like things were so slow when we were starting, because it gave us time to kind of like lean into it. And now that things are going back to normal, we overall, I think, do have a hang of most of the stuff.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like probably a lot of people probably feel that way. I mean, like myself included. I mean, I just like, I felt like, the kids were at home throughout this. So I realized that I needed my own space. I couldn't like wake up and hear tons of shit downstairs while I was upstairs, like having a conference call with fucking Coca-Cola. And I'm like, hey, can you guys hold on while I tell my kids to shut the fuck up? And it was just like, it was awful. So I was like, all right, out of necessity, I need a space. Like that pushed me. That was something that I wanted to do, and it gave me a good push to like go and do it.
Yeah.
Other people just like, jumping into businesses out of necessity. I've had a ton of those people on the podcast who were just like, I've always wanted to start my own business. We were short on cash. My husband lost his job. I wanted to do this. I tried it. And now they're fucking doing it. And, it's awesome. And now that the world's coming back and everybody's super like hyper locally focused, I like seeing people succeed. It's fucking great. I like it.
Same. I mean, we try to provide a house for people to come and maybe not even succeed, but at least try. Music, art, whatever. I had somewhere I was going with that.
The house of doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Progress,
Dude, yeah. I mean, I like what you guys are doing. It's pretty awesome. And just to like, I mean, you guys, how old are you all?
I'm 34.
Okay.
35.
33.
Nice. All right. So I just turned 38 last week. So like, as far as like music venues and stuff like that, like where did you guys all hang? Where did you get that experience from in this area?
In Greensburg, it was CD Warehouse.
Okay.
Doing shows in the back of the store there. I played my first show there. I mean, that place was magical in a lot of ways. And after they quit doing that, AMC was this weird, like warehousey type place, American Music Cafe out in Murfreesville.
I played in both of those spots.
Oh, man. I mean, they had touring bands come through there.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, I got the wind knocked out of me being ejected out of a pit one time, or the first time. Like, so many fun teeth cutting joints that I would love to provide that kind of opportunity to, other younger kids, adults, if they'd never been to a pit.
Kids nowadays, they're like, me and 10,000 friends ran in a circle as fast as we could, fucking punching each other, and they'd be like, "What?" And we'd know that.
Right? Yeah.
Like just out there doing that shit. Like, isn't that assault? Like, fuck it. I'm doing it. Like, we want to do it.
It's like a gladiator.
Yeah, they wouldn't believe it. You'd have to show them footage.
Right? Were you guys familiar with the Dairy Theater? Or was that like in your time or just a little before?
They were, I remember like the Juliana Theory playing shows out there and stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to because I didn't have my license.
Okay. Yeah. So like just probably a year or two before your time.
Yeah.
Mozart
But even,
all had them.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even, we were the young kids at a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So,
Same here.
totally intimidated. We're like, kind of getting hassled a little bit, but there was never any trouble to keep us enough away.
Dude, I mean, it was awesome. Like to try and explain that to kids was just like every weekend we would go to a show, like a local show, and they're like, just like, what are you talking about? Like you went to Pittsburgh every week? And it's like, no, we went just to like down the street and saw local bands. Like your friends' bands were playing.
Yeah.
You went in, you saw them, and that's how it was. You hung out there and
Bugsies and
fucking smoked. Yeah, Bugsies. You smoke cigarettes and fucking whatever when you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Rock on.
I remember playing some Moose clubs back in the day.
Yeah.
Like 17 and fucking getting beers and shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They just don't care at those places.
yeah.
They're over in their little bar, I'll do like regulars, and then there's just a fucking show happening on like a Thursday.
Yep.
At 8 o'clock, like, it's going down, whatever.
It was so much fun. Like that whole, I wish, and what I hope is going to happen now that the world's coming back to normal is just that you guys can provide that thing, what we had to kids now. And so they could grow up. I mean, like we grew up in bands, around bands, seeing bands all the time. And music was really fucking important. It still is. And
You remember when Thrice was really fucking good? Like, way,
Oh, yeah.
Like in like 02 and
before they went hippie.
yeah, when they were just like a really crazy like punk band that listens to Rush or something.
Right, yeah.
They were fucking getting nasty. And then they turned into something, I don't know.
I still like him.
Some of their stuff, like I've heard some of their newer stuff, and
They used to be like a trash punk fucking band. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, long ago.
that's there you go. Yeah, I forget what that dude's first name is. The singer,
Dustin.
Yeah, dude, like I remember listening to like some old tapes of some of their just like EP shit that they were putting out, and his voice was fucking awful. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. He got his shit together around like Illusion of Safety or something like that. And I was like, who's this guy? Same dude. And I was like, whoa, this is fucking awesome. He took like vocal lessons or something, but he really started to kill it. And Thrice was just like, probably, I would say like Thrice and Coheed and Cambria and like Under Oath were really kind of like my gateway into that whole scene. And that was just like, it's fucking no turning back at that point. It was fucking great.
Good.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah. We went, I think we saw Thrice and maybe Thrice and Under Oath together on a show when we were in college. And we saw them a couple nights. We saw them at the Agora in Cleveland and then at Laga in Pittsburgh, like night after night. So that was really cool. But like kids don't know about that shit. That was just like, that was my a finals week. I saw Coheed and Cambria 3 nights in a row. We went Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Buffalo. And I got a chance I took a camera. And back in the day, if you had a camera at Laga, you would just like show them your camera and they'd be like, oh yeah, fuck, come back here. So like you just got to go backstage because you had a camera in your hand. And so I have a picture, I think might be at my other studio. It's me and Claudio standing there with our arms around each other. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll see you in Cleveland tomorrow. And he's like, whoa, you're coming tomorrow too? And I was like, yeah. I was like, and then Buffalo the next day. And he was like, holy shit, this is awesome, man. He's like, what do you do? And I'm like, a college kid. And he's like, oh, are you going to miss school? And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's my finals week, dude. He was like, what? It was so funny. I was like, I had books in the car and my friends were driving and I was fucking studying in the backseat of the car on the way to the shows every night. But
So
like,
I gotta take it next semester and
yeah, but that's what kids don't fucking get, man.
Yeah.
Like they just don't understand that. Like you hear about like, do you guys ever see like Almost Famous, the movie Almost Famous? Like how those people would like just follow the shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and that seems kind of weird to me that people would like travel cross country with a band, but we were kind of doing that, jumping from like, 2 hours
Yeah.
here and there. And now kids, I mean, They don't know what the fuck that is. They have no idea.
They don't have.
They don't have shows because their artists don't make music. Like it's like a computer.
Well, I think that's part of it.
Right.
Like it's the internet. I wonder if it's our generation's fault for not having enough venues or making it more accessible to kids. That like, I don't know. You pull a high school full of students right now, and I will guarantee you that more of them have tried to make noise on a laptop than have even held a guitar before.
100%. I guarantee it.
I don't know whose fault that is.
At one point, I think. You know.
Yeah.
I just downloaded Fruity Loops.
Like I got it. I'm done,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's, I hope that, you guys are the next, Laga, the next Dairy Theater, the next, Bugsy's Bagels, all of that. Like, I just, it was such a great thing. Anytime I'm together with any of my friends, that's where we end up conversation wise. It's like, dude, you remember when we saw like Zayo at Bugsy Bagels or Bugsy's? Do you remember when we saw Seasons in the Field at Bugsy's or something? And it was just like, we got to see it, and so young. Like my mom would just like pull up and drop us off and be like, don't smoke cigarettes. And we're like, okay, Mom. She's like not even out of fucking distance yet, and I'm fucking firing up a cigarette, and I'm like, let's get in there. It was just like, it was such a fun thing to like go out and do this like little rebellious, thing. You're hanging out at a venue, and like that's what we need more of.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you guys like stepped up to fill that fucking void.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not playing the Palace or you're not playing the corner of some bar in town, there's not really anywhere else to be playing where people are going to be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, like open mics and stuff like that they're cool, and I guess they're kind of serving their purpose for the musicians at least. But crowd wise, I feel like there needs to be dedicated music venues, like places that you can count on. Someone that you could walk up to and just be like, hey, do you think you guys could possibly get a hold of XYZ?
Yeah.
And, your business, that's, your responsibility, I guess, would be to make the people happy. Go fucking chase after that band.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, it's a weird spot, especially for bands and like entertainment for us, because like we're not a bar where it's very literal that the people that are showing up are supporting the band.
Yeah.
So we're really relying on that because we don't have another avenue to like scoop money off of to play bands. So we're in this kind of weird spot where like, our punk and metal friends who comprise the scene with heart and soul, they don't even ask like, oh, how much are we getting paid?
Right.
And stuff like that. Like, we're not making any money. These bands that are like first question, like, what do you guys pay for a 2-hour set? Like, well, first of all, we're not doing 2-hour sets really on regular shows that are just music shows, for music as a sidecar to some other event, like, sure. But, it's about an hour, half hour, 45-minute sets. It's hard. We got a lot of bands to kind of sift through, I think, until people around here in surrounding areas really get to where straightforward music. Like, there's nothing we really do makes any money, as it turns out. Like the shows, we take a really small commission on the gallery sales with artwork. It's really our studio rentals, our upper floors we rent to other artists to come and work. Like that's what keeps us floating the most.
Pays the rent.
Yeah.
And how many artists do you guys have in their renting space?
We have 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Six studios and 6 artists right now.
Fuck yeah.
Which is really cool.
That's awesome.
The gallery itself has, I think, closing in on 300 pieces of art and among about 60 or 70 artists. Mostly local stuff too.
Yeah.
Like we got a couple of people from Pittsburgh and stuff, but it's all Westmont.
Every piece of it, huh?
No, Kevin and I tackled the exhibit room. The other side, we did a re-rack a couple months back of everything.
How fun is hanging art all day?
It's really fun, honestly. I dig
It's
it.
kind of rewarding.
Levels out.
As long as nobody took my set of nails.
Yeah.
Get all the levels out and have a band play, and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know anybody that likes to do that. It's impressive that you guys do.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, my bedroom walls, every inch was covered.
Really?
With stuff I cut
Yeah.
off of brochures
Yeah.
or printed off a computer, or
That's awesome.
you know, when I had to buy another copy of a CD because it was too scratched, like the old cover that got cut
yeah.
up and put everywhere. You know.
And I have like an obsession for framing too, so it's just something that came natural, like
Yeah.
hanging this stuff. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Anytime my wife like comes home with a piece of art and she's like, "Can we hang?" I'm fucking out the door, and I'm like, "I'm going to cut the grass." Like, I'm fucking out of here. I hate it.
Take my wheel off my car. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. I mean, when I was down there, we did the Sunday Spotlight down there like a month or two ago, and when I was down there and you guys were showing me around and stuff, I mean, like the amount of local artists that are involved and have pieces up in the gallery is fucking astounding, man. Like I had no idea that there were that many people in this area producing art.
There's a lot of artists.
That was news to me too.
Yeah.
I mean, we came at this from a musical angle.
Yeah.
On the outset, so the art side is really new, kind of to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, to the area
right.
at least with us. And they really all came out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a steady trickle since we opened. I mean, people will still bring us stuff, and we're always accepting stuff too.
We've reached out to, you know, a handful of people, but mostly they were, you know, they came on their own volition, brought their
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah.
And we got so much that we've hung stuff at Major Stokes now as well. They've offered their walls, and just kind of as an auxiliary space for us, like it's still art sales, and we offered them to cut them in on their commission, and they didn't want it. They just said,
Yeah.
give it back to the artist. So, you know, shout out to them for being supportive of the arts
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, like without your space, I guess without that evidence, like, you know, staring you in the face, I would have never known how many artists were in this town at all. I mean, like the only thing that I have to like judge that off of, if somebody asked, I would, because of the cultural trust, and that's because I rent space from them for this.
Yeah.
So I would have just sat there and thought like, I think the Dasher's in there, and you know, a few other people that print some T-shirts and shit. 6, I don't know, maybe 6 people.
Yeah.
Like, and there's fucking 300.
There's more.
You know, yeah,
There's more.
That's
They're
so
just-
amazing.
Yeah, not everybody's brought work in. Some people are planning to.
Yeah.
Eventually, and yeah, we keep discovering more and more, just conversationally, you know, here and there.
Yeah,
Someone's like, "Oh, I know an artist that actually sells work," and then they refer
Yeah.
us, and we get in touch with them, and things happen. They come bring their art, and yeah,
I really like how you guys have your space broken up too, because like there's a lot of paintings and like love painting and stuff like that, but there's a lot of sculpture work and stuff too. A lot of mixed media stuff. I really enjoy. My favorite space out of your space is the front room. That just like where all the like sculptural type things are, and like you know, it's very. I was really into like ceramics and stuff. Like when I was in college, there were certain amount of credits that you just have to kind of blow off. And I was just like, yeah, fuck ceramics. Why not? Turned out I was good at throwing pots, and I was like, oh, cool. And, but there were like people in there that were like really fucking into working with clay. And I was like, whoa, this is really
Yep.
neat. And, I thought it was just going to be like a real quick, easy, and I mean it was, but to watch these other kids, I guess, just doing like real neat like sculptures and stuff, and like not just sitting at the wheel and like throwing coffee mugs for their parents' birthdays and shit. It was really neat, and I like to see that you guys have all of that stuff represented at the gallery. It's really neat to like walk in and see all kinds of different shit.
It's really cool in there, and I mean, I can't take a compliment very well, so I always deflect, and rightfully so in this case, to the artist, that like it looks really cool in there, and like that's very little. It's got very little to do with us, other than just like opening the doors for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the artists all came through with really
Except-
cool looking stuff.
Yeah.
We take the art and we put it on the wall.
Right? I mean, there is a certain amount of like your space looks fucking awesome because of the way that you guys have it set up. If you took all the pieces that you have and didn't put the thought and care that you guys have into it, it would look like a house full of junk.
That's true.
So, I mean, what you
Maybe it
guys
does look like that to some people,
We're
but
still learning. I mean,
Yeah.
no, it looks
make it so
it's clean as fuck in there. It's awesome.
Well, with this arrangement, this current arrangement of the art, we did put a thought into,
Yeah.
you know, not just like putting it up as it came in, but actually, this looks good here. This looks, you know, yeah,
making some kind of flow in there.
right. Flow. That's exactly it. Yep. It looks a lot better now, I think, than it did initially, and it is because we're progressing.
Yeah.
You know.
So how did you guys go about finding that space and deciding that you were going to pull the trigger and spend money on a space? Like, you know, it's a scary thing to do.
yeah. Well, the story kind of starts with that back in 2018, I suppose.
Yeah.
Steve found the building for rent. Our dad had just died a month or two before that. So I was like freshly moved back to Greensburg.
Yeah.
And found it to be like a different Greensburg than when I left. It was just more artsy. There was stuff
Yeah.
going on. People came out for stuff. Were you always looking for?
I'm always on Craigslist. I'm a Craigslist dude. So I saw this place and was like, oh, this is cool for whatever. It's just like a huge building. You should check it out. It's like cheap. Let's go look. So we did look at it once.
Yep.
We took a tour and it was like different than it is now because this was before. Someone else did get the lease. We did not.
Yep.
But they took it and like put carpet in that like standard fucking commercial carpet.
I can't remember.
Painted the walls gray. But before that, it was like wallpapered and all goofy in there.
I don't remember at all what
So
it
they
looked like.
updated it
Yeah.
when they had it, but
Thank God you guys didn't have to do the wallpaper.
yeah,
That
was,
shit sucks.
And then after COVID, they moved out. They like closed their little branch or whatever.
It's a web startup of some sort.
And
Oh, okay.
it was
Is that
back on the market.
Alchemy?
Shit to
Is that
go.
what
Yeah.
it was? Okay.
Yeah.
I always drove past and I saw it and I was like, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I drive past and curse him because I couldn't produce a better business plan than 4 pages.
Right.
the first time around. Yeah, come here.
You bastards.
Alchemy, why have you done this to me?
That's awesome.
But
Free paint and carpet, I guess. Thanks, Alchemy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I remember I was thinking the other day, I had a memory, like a flashback to when we first looked at the building. And I was like, I got my hopes up so high. I'm like, oh man, if we got this, it would just be incredible. And I was really, my hopes were dashed when I realized that, you know, they weren't contacting us with, you know, with the good news of us getting in with the business plan that we'd slapped together. But then I realized, you know, like after we'd been in there for a while, after we got the lease, that, you know, we did get it. And it just struck me as like, just amazing that I didn't think we were going to get it.
Yeah.
And when we did, it was just like, it didn't even hit me till we were in there for a while. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is,
We have a place.
We did it. We're here.
Yeah.
It like hit me really late, but
Yeah.
yeah.
it was kind of sudden too because we weren't expecting Alchemy to close up, and
Right.
we weren't working on the business plan the whole time in between visits to the building. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I spent lockdown doing nothing.
Yeah.
So happily. Like, I could have been doing a whole lot to prepare for this
Right.
all happening, but Steve found it. We toured it. The guy asked for the business plan again. We said, give us a weekend. And I met with Ashley at who runs Black Forge
Okay.
Coffee out in Pittsburgh, and she really helped me get all of the headers and things that I needed to get together for the business plan. And I mean, I could use some of her show, like venue side of things, but the coffee and stuff like didn't really translate to what we were doing. So
Yeah.
I spent like a 16-hour day just like pounding my head against the keyboard, and then we had the business plan that got us in there, and
Nice.
it's just been tumbling down the mountain ever
We
since.
thought maybe doing coffee, and then we were talked out of it
Yeah.
with somebody like, you're just going to sit in there and talk to people that are just going to come in here.
Yeah.
buy a coffee and just stand here and take all your day. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything else.
Right.
And you're going to sell like 4 cups of coffee and be like, why? Why are we selling coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No need.
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. I mean, like to realize that you have a space to call your own in a town. I mean, like that's really like it's a big milestone. Like even when I got this place, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is like I can say my studio and not mean my attic. Or
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm going to like, and this room is just dedicated to sitting around and bullshitting. You know what I mean? It's like I don't do anything else in here.
Yeah.
We come in here, we have podcast, and fucking that's that. I shut the door and I come here once a week. It's really cool. What I want to do is, you know, in the future is maybe allow other podcasts to come in here because I have the studio set up. It's ready to run. You know, other people that want to do a podcast can come in here, bring their guests in here and just sit down and, you know, teach them how to run this thing and give me a couple bucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's
Like
just,
a different streaming key and you're just good to go.
yeah. I mean, like you could do the streaming if you want. I don't fuck with that. I'll take this thing. This is nobody knows we're doing
Smart.
this except
Smart.
for us.
Yeah.
And if the video doesn't turn out, then fuck it. We don't use it.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Oh, we have one of those.
Yeah. It's just like it's wild, man. And it's very like real proud, you know, just knowing that like I have a space and people know about it. They take you more seriously.
Right.
It's just, you know, this podcast was going to start with just this and 4 mics that I was going to take to people's businesses and do this like remotely. And then I was like, I should probably just get a space so people come to me. Like, why the fuck am I traveling to people?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, it just worked out. Like everyone that comes in is just like, oh man, it's a cool space. You know, it's not intimidating in here whatsoever.
Yeah, it's really nice in here.
It's just like, it's fun to sit in here and just bullshit.
Some art.
I was going to say,
Drop the ball on that one.
before we stopped, I was going to say, I need something on the walls. But it just,
I forgot we were doing this totally today.
Yeah, so did I.
Man, I was so bummed out on Saturday too, because I had some work that needed to get finished up, and it was like all last minute stuff that should have been finished on Friday. But then corporate clients like to be like, oh, this is the deadline. And if you don't hit that deadline, then you're a fucking asshole. But if they say, here's the deadline, and then they ask for changes the next day, then you have to do them. It's a fucked up world. So yeah, it was something like that.
That was a live episode from
Yeah, we were going to do this Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
Which, as soon as I told them, they had the same reaction I did.
Yeah.
Good.
That was literally the 5th stop on my day if we were doing that. So
Oh shit.
instead, I got to after.
It would have been-
after playing a pump
I mean, it
show
would have been
and then get.
we should still do that sometime. I mean, if not
Absolutely,
with
yeah.
us,
Yeah.
like have someone else come in and
Yeah.
just do it.
Or
hanging out
like
down
one of the
there.
bands even, or just like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
I think that would be really awesome. Like I would love, I mean, this place is so close to like everything down here. I mean, like say you guys have like an awesome band that you guys want to just be like, oh, hey, we can do some quick, like a quick interview or something like that.
Yeah.
Have them come down like a week before the show or whatever, and we
Yeah,
can talk
dude.
to them, and then you guys can, you know, use that as like a nice promo for them or whatever.
Yeah.
Little extra for the band or whatever. But yeah, I just think it's you know, Greensburg is really kind of just, you know, progressing in a great way. And like you said, like when you moved away and came back, it was a different place. And when I moved back, it was like 2014, and it was still kind of the same way. And then progressively, it just started getting better and better. And then all of a sudden, it was like getting hit in the face with like a bat. It was just like, holy fuck, this place is cool again. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's happening? And it's
Just
just,
cool. Your parents in their 50s are going to the palace and drinking fucking wine and beer on the patio, being like, "I'm going to watch a band tonight."
Yeah.
You know. Oh, you over there. But they're
it's
doing it.
cool as shit, man. Like people are out doing
I
things.
have gone there many a time. But
Yeah. I did like a live round of podcasts over at the Palace like last year for some concert series that they were doing.
I hope
And it
we're
was,
on with them someday with like, can we have a show there? You know, maybe someday.
Yeah.
We'll see.
your uncle's in good with all those guys.
Oh yeah, he met my aunt there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No shit.
Got an inside man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, we're just trying to make Greensburg suck less.
There you go.
I mean, it's not that it sucks. I can't say it sucks, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Make more
it's
fun.
we're doing our best out here.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, I think everybody, you know, when you grow up, I remember when I was in college, in high school, I was just like, everyone was like, where do you want to live? What do you want to do? All that stuff. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That was my number one answer. And it was like,
I had that plan.
Yeah.
Here at one point. For sure.
Yeah.
you know, I went for film and video. So it was, you know, LA, New York, Miami, Chicago. Any of those were good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to fucking any of them. So I moved to Lancaster and realized that that little town was kicking so much fucking ass when it came to like small business and like galleries and like just enjoyment.
There's a sick skate park there.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude,
things to-
Lancaster
All kinds of
has it
stuff out
all,
there.
man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Chameleon Club. Have you guys heard of the Chameleon Club?
I've been wanting to go to a show there. Since
Yeah, I mean,
since I could drive.
Unfortunately, the Chameleon is no longer, but
Yeah.
it just like, it's a fucking legendary club. I mean, like, there's so many like national acts that have played there and stuff. And like, just to have all of that in one space and have like the entire population of Lancaster really fucking like promoting everything in the town was incredible. Cause there's not like big corporate chains in the middle of town. They don't let that.
Right.
It's like, I think there's like maybe a McDonald's and maybe a Subway. And that's kind of like towards the outsides of the town. Well, kind of, but I mean, it's like when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, Greensburg should really jump on this bandwagon. Like, what are they doing here that we couldn't do there?
Yeah.
And it was a lot of just the people in power here were just a little too like old, and I don't mean that like in a dickish way, like age wise, but like old thinking.
Yeah.
Just like, why rock the boat type of thing. Like, we've survived this long. Just let's do what we're doing already. And then finally, you know, like younger people started getting into positions of power here, like local government wise. And it just really fucking took a huge upward trend very fast. It was incredible to see it happening. And I'm really excited that, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, like you guys, like all the small business owners that are popping up everywhere, community type activists that are like really pumping the scene around here, just all working together and trying to like make this place a cool fucking spot.
Yeah.
So,
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
A couple more years of plugging.
yep.
You know.
100%.
It's on its way though.
Yeah.
So it's encouraging.
100%. What do you guys see for the future of the Beacon? What are there things that like Kevin, you said that there were, you know, you guys got to slowly kind of get used to things, and now that you're feeling good and, you know, everything's going to come back, that'll be a nice plateau to hit for a little while. Where do you guys see progressing and growth from here?
Well, I see like a bigger web presence, you know, bigger visual element on the art end. That's my thing. And just clearly more shows. I mean, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, better shows. I mean,
Recording
touring
studio.
bands. We got one coming from Minnesota this summer.
Oh yeah.
Just always open to that for sure. We're kind of outgrowing the place a little bit already.
Yeah.
We're just running out of places to do stuff, which is good and bad. I mean, we'd love to turn it into like a House of Blues type thing where there's just like art and music that we're just planting
Yeah.
different places around. I mean, America and beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, if we ever go to a second location, it's going to be somewhere warm, probably close to a coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coastal.
Before we take the world over.
Yeah.
The rest of the world.
Yeah.
Well, because we need a boat, you know, so we gotta be near the water.
Awesome.
We're gonna build a lighthouse too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Right on Pittsburgh
A
Street.
green beacon.
Yeah,
Very nice.
that's hopefully our summer project.
Yeah.
Because people drive past, it's a literal statistic, like in some of the city planning binders of just weird documents that they have. But they estimate 1 million cars a year goes down Pittsburgh Street. Mm-hmm. And 90% of people who come in the gallery for the first time are just like, I drive past here every day. I did not know you guys were here.
no idea
Right.
you guys were here.
So that's what the lighthouse is going to be for.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I mean, I really hope that people kind of are seeing like the big problem back, in the earlier, let's say like when I first got back here, like 2014 or whatever, everyone was always saying that it was like a really hard thing to get the kids down off of the hill from like Seton Hill. They didn't want to come down here because they felt like they weren't welcome here. It was like the townies were just like, all these fucking college kids, blah, blah, blah. Like they didn't want them interfering in their fucking local fucking bar activities. And, but now that everyone is like, coming down and everyone's enjoying things all around the town, it's just like, I feel like people are more apt to just kind of walk into places and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've done it. I walked in like places on like Pennsylvania Avenue when I first got here. There were some really cool fucking spots that I ran into that unfortunately didn't make it. But I just like walk in and be like, what the fuck is this place? And it was a cool jewelry store. And I was like, all right, sweet. Like this is I'd rather spend some money here instead of go to like the fucking mall and spend money there.
Right.
So yeah, it was really cool. And I think that, you guys have a good plan to take over the universe and with your boat.
At least one more tropical climate.
Yes. Very cool. How can people get in touch with you guys? Why don't you drop all your plugs right
We
here?
bring the plugs?
I don't think so.
No.
Just
But we have the internet.
Yeah.
We have all the internet.
greenbeacongallery.com is our website. We're on Facebook primarily.
yeah.
Instagram a little less.
Even less than that is, I think there's another one out there. Twitter we have. We forgot totally about
Twitter.
Uh-oh,
Twitter.
and the TikTok.
And
And TikTok.
Ooh, the TikTok.
And a Snapchat that we can't access anymore.
Yeah, so
Dude, I never got into Snapchat. Like it's something that I have and I just don't fucking use it. Like people are always like, I send you snaps all the time and you don't like, I went in there probably like, I don't know, last week at some point. And there was a happy birthday message from somebody a fucking year ago. And I just clicked on it and was like, thanks.
Hey,
Like, what the fuck?
how about that?
It was like
keeps on
ridiculous. But I feel like with all the stuff in your place, you guys could come up with some really cool snaps and some TikToks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
so
It'd be fun.
We got to learn it
TikTok.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know TikTok.
Maybe you should
I
put
just,
Kevin in charge of that. He's
Yeah.
very into it.
I like Snapchat.
There you go.
TikTok is a little bit. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But we just have to do it.
It's where
Yeah.
comedy
We haven't gotten
goes
it.
to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it is really cringy. It's a cringe factor.
Oh, yeah.
But
100%.
we don't have to be cringy on it.
Right.
If you
So-
look really close at all the TikTok videos, you can actually see the collective Earth IQ declining.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys could just find like a hot chick with her boobs hanging out,
Yeah.
it's fucking instant success.
That's it. That's all you got to do in all
all you
those
gotta do.
platforms.
I know. a couple of
Absolutely.
those. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
No shortage of that.
we're not gonna stoop to the cleavage.
Real events
Yeah.
in real time, tasteful, uncut, and without audio enhancement.
There we go. All right, gents. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you all stopping in.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
for
us.
having us.
Super fucking cool. This is one that I've looked forward to for a while since you
Yeah.
guys popped up. So
It was a delight.
yes,
Yep.
today's the day. All right. All right, you heard it from them. Reach out to these guys and connect with them on Facebook and Instagram and keep an eye on what they have going on down at the gallery. It's a very fun place. I've been there a few times. Really enjoy myself every single time I've been there. Also, if you'd like to get your art featured there, you can always reach out to those guys and make that happen. And until next time, toodaloo.